Hopefully. Not to be confused with Austria, which we had last week. Uh-oh. I guess I am commentating. Okay. What's happening? I need to get stuff up on my screen. Oh. Okay, now I need to... It looks like it's a William who is the first out on track. Oh no, I've got the audio from the stream on my other screen, so I need to Alt-Tab to mute that so I don't listen to myself with about 5 seconds of latency, which is annoying. Okay. Right now I am riding aboard with Dino, who is just starting his first lap and the first lap of the session. Goes barreling into turn 1. Gets a nice apex, short shifts into 6 through turn 2, gets good traction, and is now running down into turn 3, a tricky braking zone. Brakes a bit after the 100-meter board, uses 3rd gear to get some rotation, short shifts 4th for the traction, then 5th for turn 4, then gets a good exit, and is able to go flat out through turn 5, and now into turn... and I get a bit too much rotation, actually, through turn 6, and actually, in fact, backs off after invalidating the lap. So we'll ride on board with... Who's next? It is Richard Decant, who is the other driver on a lap. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. Makes his way through the fast chicane of 910. Oh, and spins. Doesn't cut the second apex right and gets some front wing damage, but fortunately is not out of the session as we... as I am sick.
Alright,
That
anyways.
is what we know.
So far
Over
I
to
figured
Luke.
out. So, my mic wasn't on. The thing was recording the wrong, or streaming the wrong stream. The camera was messed up. Look at that. That's centered now and looks absolutely beautiful rather than the offset, which looks rubbish. That's just my opinion. Sorry to people who like the offset. Not really. It's not that good. Anyways, let's have a look at what Paul Hill is doing. Obviously in the yellow Ferrari, looking absolutely beautiful there.
That is a reasonably quick lap from Inchiaz.
An 18.2, that's a very good banker, and his teammate follows through in second. What about Paul? What can Paul do? It's a very good time as well, with an 18.3, so a very nice banker there. So there's a Haas in the final sector. That's Marvin, and Marvin crosses the line, goes to first. So a very good early doors start for the McLaren and Haas drivers respectively. As Maciejak heads to the pit lane, so I believe he will have spun. As Dino's on another lap here. And just about has enough battery. So
Dino
we'll be able to finish
invalidated
this.
the first lap.
Yeah, we're in the final corner. Bit tentative on the throttle, but it's still a good exit, and it's the quickest time we've seen so far with an 18 flat. It's a very nice time from the Williams there. Currently leading the championship after winning every single race so far.
I think the first race win was due to the talent of the engineer, and the third race as well.
Yeah,
And
Raymond
it's
Gitz
definitely
was
not a
very good.
coincidence that I was Dino's engineer for those 2 races, but Dino is in good hands today, as Wodge just sent me a ping on Discord, which I will check now. He's asking about Henry adding Luthor the other way.
Well, I didn't get
It's
that.
just that this will be investigated after the race. I'm going to send that to Wodge.
Anyways, speaking of Henry, Henry is on the lap and is moving in the Alfa Romeo, shall we say. Down into turn 3, drops it to 3rd, doesn't short shift to 4th on the exit, and that compromises his traction in the next corner, and well, he's going to lose a lot of time there, and has to have a bit of a lift through 5, and then into the fast right-hander of 6, and 7, 8, just loads of corners here. Then this sort of just elongated straight with a slight kink here and there in it. As you head into the fast chicane, braking at the 50-metre board down to 6th, and keeping it in 6th all the way through as Henry's just cut the chicane there, and that is that lap done. We do have Lucas McGinty about to start a lap as he almost loses it out of the penultimate corner.
Unfortunately, Joe Fagali's game has crashed while on a hot lap.
Anyways, Lucas McGinty currently sits 3rd or 4th in the standings. I believe it's 3rd, just behind Imtiaz. However, he does have a 50-point gap to the leader of Dina, but only a 1-point gap to Imtiaz, so he'll be looking to put a retrospective time to try and better the McLaren driver. As it's a very nice, tidy Sector 1 so far. And a good start for the Alpine, maybe a little early on the brakes and down to 5th there. I'd normally personally go for 6th, however, everyone has their own driving style. And that's not what I'm here to judge. As McGinty, you know, barreling down towards the final sector, purple middle sector. So potentially running low wings, he's run very wide there, gets away with it just about, but I don't know, some reports that maybe this shirt's all look if this is his fastest time. Down to 2nd there, interestingly, and then holding it in 5th, and then braking just before 50 metres there into the penultimate corner, and then just trying to get the power down as much as he can, over revving slightly. But it is going to be an 18.6 and places him in 6th for now. As we have a few drivers on the lap. We have, I believe, Rabbi Melko in the Red Bull, who takes a very nice line there and managed to go through the penultimate corner as Massiajak in the Ferrari goes for the top of the timing tables with a 17.6, currently 4 tenths quicker. However, you have to think that the track rubbering in is going to have an effect on that, as Bodium has invalidated. What about Martin Brusnak? He's a very slow time, so potentially 2.8 laps, or he made a mistake. He also looked to have a lot of understeer, so might not have a front wing there. So let's see what Dino can do this time around in the Williams. A full tenths gap to bridge up to the Ferrari, currently sitting in provisional pole position. But I'm sure that's not going to phase our championship leader, who is in red hot form this season as, oh, that's not what Dino would have wanted. And I might have compromised the AlphaTauri there a little bit, as he just caught the grass, and yeah, that's not helped him there. Not sure if there's lasting damage, as Rabi may have been put off by the Alpine there, and does still look to be on a lap. Might abandon after that, as everyone just seems to be making mistakes at the moment. However, it is still early doors in the session, so there's still a lot of time, as Imshaz a 10th.5 up in Sector 1 there. That's a good amount of time that has been found for the McLaren. Currently sitting in 4th, and with the improvements so far, could definitely challenge a front row position. Not much time gained in the middle sector, but you don't really find time in the middle sector, as
Ela has just sent me a message asking to race.
Tell him to ask watch. Imshaz here in the final sector now, and a much wider line opening up the penultimate corner than others have done. Not sure if that was intentional or on accident, but it is going to be a 17.9 and puts the McLaren to second, and he's going to be closely followed by Henry Snell, who also does a 17.9, however is half a tenth quicker, and takes the second position away from the McLaren there, as Marvin Muir was sitting in 5th. Has he improved his lap here, as it looks like it's going to be really good, and it's a 17.5 for the Haas driver. That's a very strong lap time there, and one that does put him into provisional pole position for now. It's Elliot who said he was struggling with force feedback issues. I'm not sure if that's currently affecting him, but for
There
his
was
sake,
an
I hope it isn't.
issue with the initial 1.10 patch, that Fanatec wheels. If you touched anything, you'd basically break your wrist, but apparently they patched it on Wednesday.
I didn't have that ever, which was weird. Like, everyone was saying
Did you
about
not?
it, and I was confused. I was like,
Maybe it's because you were too skilled to crash into anything.
no, definitely not. As AJ Modi managed to get into the session, however, has invalidated that lap, and well, he would have invalidated at turn 6 there anyways. He's gone flying off the track. As Mathieu Jacques has backdated that particular lap. However, someone who hasn't backdated that lap is Bodian, and that's a Ferrari on the racing line there. That's not good. Bodian's still 4.5 tenths up in the McLaren, and a very good line using all of the track there through that chicane. As he heads now down into Sector 3, but does have more traffic ahead, so the McLaren is going to be screaming to hope that they get out of the way of him. Oh, that's a moment, but he's caught that well. It's going to cost him some time, and he's gone deep into the next corner. But it's just still going to be an improvement here for the McLaren. He was up by a lot, and up to the line, it's going to be a 17.8, but you must think he might be able to challenge with pole, considering how much time he did lose there. As Richard Decant goes purple in the middle sector actually there. But that might just be a glitch, as he hasn't set a lap and runs wide on the exit of the chicane. So that's going to cost him a few tenths and even more time all the way down into this sort of weird squared off corner. Obviously, many of the corners at this circuit have been reprofiled on this game to match in accordance with the track in real life. So that is Mathieu Jacques. Not actually improving in the Ferrari, decides to box. Dino has invalidated, so we're going to look with Paul Hill, who's 2 tenths up, and manages to get a decent line. A bit of a lift, but sort of have to if you don't get a line cutting as much of the inside curb as possible, as the Ferrari driver is heading round the final sector now, and they're in the final corner actually, as not too close to the inside, but manages to carry a good amount of momentum, and up to the line it's a 17.8, and a lot of our drivers all so close here, which is very interesting to see actually, as I don't believe Rosnak is improving. How about Fagali then? Looks to have just finished a lap actually and has the battery off. However, Ravi Melko behind is not on a lap either. So we shift our attention to McGinty, who's a 10.5 down. However, we know he ran wide at the chicane last... Whoa, what the...
That's odd.
I'm not sure what's happened there. But that was extremely strange, I can't lie. And is the Alpine gonna box? Yeah. And actually crashes on pit entry.
That's one I've not seen before.
Rabbi's also just sort of out there in the wild, exploring the Australian nature. I'm sure there's some interesting things to be sighted out there. As Paul Hill heads to the pit lane. As Fagali, I don't know if he's missed a pit or what's going on here for the Mercedes. But I'm not one to question things, as let's go on board with Marvin's actually on a lap. But it doesn't look like he's pushing. So we're going on board with Elliott in the Aston Martin, currently in 14th place on a 19.3. So let's see, can the Aston Martin improve, as he does have a bit of traffic ahead. So hopefully they move out the way as the Mercedes parks it in an interesting place. Williams in front, still not moving out the way yet, that is Dina. As Elliott's already 3 tenths up here. So good from the Aston Martin as, oh my, that's a bit on the inside line there again. And this sort of back straight's really catching people out, as everyone's parking all over the place here, and I think there definitely might be a few reports. As Elliott, oh, just clips the inside curb a bit too much, and unfortunately that is that lap over, as Marvin is a 10th up, going purple. He's trying to better his own time, but has invalidated at the chicane.
That's got too greedy.
Yeah. We have drivers all over the track here. Jacob Mashinsky being one of them, who is 1,000th up on his time. However, it's absolutely flat out wide, and oh, that's his front wing gone. That's going to be the end of the session for the AlphaTauri. As Elliott's going to go again. What about Marvin? Marvin's invalidated, as this doesn't look particularly great. Everyone's all in a line as... Oh, no, the Mercedes was actually giving Marvin a slipstream. So some teamwork there, actually, between the drivers. And Marvin's getting another slipstream from Elliott there, so... It seems like everyone wants Marvin to get pole position here, as... I'll jump back on board with the Haas later on, as we have...
I think that might be Marvin's 3rd lap, because I saw him invalidate a lap before. And the tyres do not like doing 3 laps at Australia.
He's on a lap. Henry is... However, further through the lap is Richard Decant. Richard Decant has invalidated. So we'll shift our attention to Dino. He's going to be the next car to cross the line on a valid lap. Dino's pushing everything here in this final sector. Drops it to 3rd, up to 4th, and then carrying momentum in 5th through this final corner. Not using all the curb on the exit, however it's still a good run through there. Is it going to be enough? It's a 17.6 and just misses out there. However, we do know Marvin's on a lap anyway, so let's see how the Haas driver is doing. He was improving at the Sector 2 split. Can he improve his own gap at the front here? As he ran out of fuel. I think he's run out of fuel. And that's going to stop him improving his own time. So if someone like Imshaz here improves, he could potentially lose his pole position. Now the McLaren coming to the line, goes fastest by 100th of a second and takes pole position away. As we still have his teammate of Bodian, who is teleporting into the pit lane, and McGinty, who's invalidated. And if
I
only
think
Marvin
they're
didn't
probably
run out of
over.
fuel there. However, that is very close at the top, that is. So we have Imchaz and Marvin separated by 100th. Dino and Masiajak separated by 100th. And Paul and Bodian separated by about 100th as well, with Henry just 200ths behind them. Interestingly enough. So,
Seems like it's going to be an exciting race.
yeah, this is going to be close. It's going to be very close. I need to check something. Someone's harassing me on Discord. Oh, he's not able to. Okay. It was just Jimmy and Shook. So, it's a McLaren on pole with Marvin just missing out in second. Dino and Masiajak also with an attempt, so 4 drivers very close there. Then behind Masiajak is his teammate of Paul Hill, followed by the other McLaren of Darius Bodian. So McLaren and Ferrari, 2 drivers high up here, as Henry is in 7th. Milan Dirksen didn't really get any focus in that session, however he's moved his way up into 8th, with McGinty 9th, Rusnak 10th, Figali 11th, Majinski 12th, Melko 13th, Sorensen 14th, Reed 15th, Decant 16th, Modi 17th, Keeler 18th, and someone in 19th, Matuzia.
Yeah.
Well, I got through that quickly. Anyways, after that qualifying, be sure to let us know who you're going to win. We do have a poll where 57% of you have said someone else to win the race. So let us know who that someone else is going to be in the chat. As well, I think Dino's probably the favourite after winning 3 on the trot. However, can someone stop him today? As we have someone saying Decant, Goat, and well, I can't remember where the Mercedes qualified because my short-term memory is absolutely diabolical.
I think it was quite far back.
It's around 10th, somewhere around there.
Did he even set a lap?
I think he did, right at the end, or was it invalid? I don't know.
But the race is starting now.
And we do have a formation lap, as it's finally re-enabled.
It shouldn't be.
No, it should. I think. Because other tiers have had it on PlayStation.
Oh, the tiers on PC have been told to not. Someone spun!
Wait, is that...
one is in turn 1.
Oh no. Anyways, let's have a look at the tyres. Everyone on mediums and hard. It's essentially medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, medium, hard. Yeah, it's completely split in half here, which is interesting to
yeah, and it's not
see.
like the top people have gone for one and the bottom have gone for another.
So could you check the stream quality? Because from my end, it looks perfectly fine.
My end, it looks perfectly fine.
Brilliant, good. Cool. Anyways, the polls ended. 62% ended up saying someone else. 25% said Furkan Imchaz, who did get pole position. So a good shout there, as Dino got 12% of the votes. Currently sitting in 3rd. McGinty, sadly for him, got 0. Poor McGinty. But anyways, we have a race to get on with at one of my personal favourite circuits, I will say. I do like a bit of Albert Park.
The Ferrari of Paul Hill is leaving a very big gap.
Henry's also leaving a fair gap, but that is just about 10 car lengths. I'd say Henry's is, maybe? Yeah, that's just about 10. Which is fair enough. So.
And then Rabbit is also leaving a decently sized gap.
I think Paul's trying to catch out those who have started on the hards, potentially.
I don't know, because as soon as you park up on the grid, your tyre temperatures are locked in.
Yeah, here we go. Who can park then? That is the question. Who is going to be able to depark in? Is anyone going to try a 360? Because we know some of these guys are a bit crafty.
I love 360s.
I won't be surprised if we see someone try it. Imchaz, can he park? He can. Marvin, can you park? The answer is yes. I think Dino can as well. Everyone can park, which is what you would expect considering this is PC F2. Bodian can't park. Oh, Henry can't park either. Here we go. This isn't looking good, Keeler. Okay, just the
Keeler
three.
can't park.
Just the three of them as we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The camera angle's terrible, but we are away here in Australia as off the line Imchaz gets a better start on those medium tyres. Dino's had a terrible start in the Williams and loses out immediately to Masiajak, who is now up into third, and Paul Hill was also trying to fight his way past Steve Williams, as behind Henry is looking for a move on Paul Hill down the inside, as there's Modi and Melko already out the race here on lap 1, and that's a virtual safety car.
I think now is a good time to mention that Australia is the safety car's favourite track.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a full safety car.
Oh,
The top of the
it's been
safety
upgraded.
car.
That's interesting. So the strategy boards are going to be hard at work already as Marvin's lost a position.
On my screen, Marvin and Masijak are teleporting through each other.
That was weird. As we have another prediction, Cody Reed top 5. We have seen some amazing performances from him last season, like Austria, where he got a podium on the track. However, after a time penalty was removed from another driver, got 4th, and then there was
Marvin
another race he got a
disconnected.
podium. Was it Imola?
Why does game crash?
Might have been Imola where he got a podium. I'm not sure, but definitely has the capability to find his way onto the podium. And I'll be interested to see if he can do that again today, as I don't think anyone's going to pit. It wouldn't really make
Cards
sense.
cannot make it to the end.
Yeah.
Depending on your setup and driving style, they can do about 24
Richardson.
laps.
So one driver in. Is that for damage though? We'll stay on board with the Mercedes. Also, I'm trying to... Oh, it's softs, and it's a front wing change as well. Interesting.
I do not understand the strategy going on softs.
I also particularly don't understand it either.
Maybe he's hoping that he can jump a few cars on
Marvin's
the restart and another
reconnected,
safety
luckily.
car. Why is Owen joined the lobby?
Why is Owen here? Ah, Owen's in here.
Oh, Dino and Masijak are also glitching through each other.
I think it's just people pausing under safety car, I want to say.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the position changes then. Fagali up 4 is the main one I noticed, same with Keeler. So good race starts from them. Bajinski up 3 and Matusiak also up 3. However, 2 of those were retired cars,
What?
unfortunately, and Decant.
Masijak just teleported on my screen.
Yeah, he's keeps
Yeah.
pausing the game. Is safety car in?
It should be out for another lap.
What is the timing tower doing? Look on the stream and look what I was just dealing with. It's
I
just...
have the exact same.
Alright, well, Richard has caught up, but safety car is going to stay at another lap, which I
Well, there's a lot
arguably
of
for the
glitching.
worst, would we say?
We're probably going to see a lot more laps under safety car given it's Australia.
Yeah. Oh, Marvin's teleporting.
I think a lot of them are teleporting.
So we have someone saying it's hammer time for Decant, and well, on soft tyres, if he doesn't pit again, which he has, so maybe it's a tactical switch here from Decant, and he's gone for hards now.
But by doing that, he adds a few percent to his set of softs,
Yeah.
and most people only have one brand new set of softs for the race after quali.
Elliot's also in for a front wing change. What's happening under this safety car? I don't know.
It's not as bad as PC3, where there were 15 drivers involved in an incident under safety car.
I genuinely think the only stable thing about this safety car is Imchaz. Everyone else behind him is all over the place. But, you know, Imchaz is leading the way nicely, and got no troubles. Nothing to worry about, and he's going to be able to lead this race when we will be restarting, which should be the end of this lap, I do believe.
Safety car is normally 2 laps.
Also, in the chat, let me know if you prefer this camera that's more centralised. or the offset cam. I think this is better as you get a better view of what the drivers are looking at as well. And
Personally, I'm just more familiar with the offset cam.
yeah, I think it's more used to seeing it, but I don't know. I think I like it from trying this as the safety car is now in
Yeah,
this
another
lap.
thing I miss is that I haven't heard any.
Someone saying, I don't know if they're far behind on the stream or what, but they're saying Darius for the win. He's currently 8th in the McLaren. Has his teammate at the front at the moment, but Darius from last season again. Race winner, I do believe. Definitely finished second at least once I know that. As what is this I'm watching? Marvin's
I
doing
think
some
that's
interesting.
lag.
Yeah.
There
Anyways,
might
we
be
are
a
going to
little
be
bit
getting
of
restarted
desync.
here as Imtiaz has gone quite early actually, and has managed to get himself a decent gap as the hard tyre runners won't have as warm tyres as behind. Henry's all the way on the back of Dino already, and they're going to be side by side. The Alfa Romeo just had to wait there to turn on the battery to go for this move, as there's
Why did
contact
he go
between the two,
side?
and that's both of them round.
Why would he
And
go side by side through turn
yeah,
one?
I don't know. That probably wasn't a smart idea. There's Bodian looking for a dive potentially on Fagali, but doesn't go for it. As Majinski's managed to sneak up the sneak around the outside, does push the McLaren off track a bit, and that opens him up to Milan Dirksen, who's gone wide off the track and can't get that move done. As McGinty now hits into the back of the Haas driver actually, which puts off Rusnak, and everything's kicking off now as we have a lot of action on this restart, shall we say, as Bodian getting closer and closer to the back of Majinski. Is he going to go for the move here? I don't think he should, and he looked at it, but hasn't, thankfully, I think is probably the best thing to say about that. As we take a look at the front, well, I thought something was happening, and it wasn't, as DRS will be enabled not this lap, the one after, I believe. As Imshaz sets the fastest lap of the race. Bodian made a bit of a mistake there as well, and that's going to leave Milan Dirksen closer. And also McGinty, however, Rusnak on the hard tyres is struggling at the moment. Oh, that's a big crash! That's a massive crash! And that's Dirksen and Bodian out, and that's another safety car. And just as someone in the chat said Bodian for the win, he's out the race. Well, that's unfortunate. That's a big collision in turn one there. The irony of that hitting interestingly, shall we say, is that leaves us with 15 runners already. 4 drivers, 8 in 5 laps. If we're going at the rate we're currently going, we're not going to have anyone left at the end of the race. But I was just focusing on Rusnak, and well, we got a great view of the carnage as we exited turn 1 there. As well, that brings out the second safety car. Do we think people are going to pit this time round? Is the
I think some people
question.
on the mediums might pit because hards can make it to the end.
Will
Asterisk.
Imshaz pit? No.
I suspect some people at
Oh,
the
there
back
we go.
will pit.
Hill's gone in. Majinski's gone in. McGinty stays out. Keeler out. Decant stays out on hards, obviously. Dino's in.
I mean, there's not much Dino can lose by boxing. It's only like 4 positions. And it is possible to get hards to the end. They won't be nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if there's like a
it's worth
safety
it,
car
though.
lap 20 something, Dino can just box for softs.
Yeah.
And if everyone else is probably gonna have to box before lap 20.
I'm going to just say, interestingly, Richard, who's currently in 8th place, has pitted. So he's currently the lead driver out of those who have pitted, so I mean, he's in a decent spot, but those tyres, it's going to be, with safety cars like this, he's going to be able to make it, just about. and they won't have a stupid amount more wear than others. So
I
potentially
think his
Richard's
tyres
on a
will
very good
definitely be dead
strategy
at the
here.
end. Someone in chat said, told you, Decant's the GOAT.
Well, only 4 drivers on the mediums decided to stay out, being Imshaz, McGinty, Keeler, and Reeders. I wonder what Henry's doing. I don't think he can take mediums 24 laps. I just don't think that's possible, so he's going to have to pit again. I mean, it'll allow him
There'll
to
probably
take
be another
them.
safety car.
There'll be about another 4. Like, at Australia, I think there's a glitch where the limit's not there, or they've removed the limit entirely from the game, I don't know, but
Yeah.
there was 5 safety cars in a race I commentated over here before. So I wonder if we're going to have a repeat of that. Hopefully not. Is McGinty spun?
I think so.
Yeah, McGinty spun and is off into the pit lane.
Henry is back into the pits, probably to go back onto the hards, having satisfied the 2 compound rule.
Bodian has left the session there. And Henry's on softs. Is it just me who's confused?
I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that's going to go, as McGinty has pitted for hards, which...
Less
I mean,
confusing.
he's not really got too much to lose, but he probably should have pitted the last lap, probably, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That does actually promote Richard Decant with another position to 7th, so he's even higher up now on those tyres he can get to the end on. So the closer he is to the front, the less carnage he'll have to deal with. The only issue is he does have a medium runner of Cody Reed behind him. He managed to get past on the last restart. So there's definitely some interesting restarts here and there from some people. Which was also the cause of contact, as the safety car's in this lap and Imshaz is going to lead us for the 2nd time here, off of a restart. And Marvin just whipping out the dance moves again with his car or something. And you don't teleport, and then he'll just start weaving normally, then he'll teleport again. And now he's 4th place.
What?
Now he's 2nd again. And now they're inside each other.
This is not good.
Yeah, this isn't what we asked for. Is what's Imchaz going to do this time? He's doing something different? Yeah, he is.
He's just going to need a lobby restart.
If it keeps going, potentially, but I think it might just be Marvin's internet, as that restart's helped for Garly out, and he's right on the back of Masiuszak here. They've all stuck close to Imshaz, and we're straight away racing for Garly. Don't go for a move. Okay, good. He lacked out, but he did force Masiuszak to take a interesting line, as Marvin's still having connection issues. Vigardi's going to dive to the inside into turn 3. This is a better spot to overtake, as the Mercedes trying to hang it on the outside, but that move's just not going to work out for him, as that's Dino reigned at the back. And not a good day for our championship leader so far, but with the chance of about 6 more safety cars, I wouldn't be surprised if we could get back into this, honestly. As Vigardi really putting pressure on the Ferrari, Vigardi's putting pressure on the Ferrari, yeah, that's a confusing sentence to say, of Masiuszak here. As maybe he's got a little less downforce on the car. Or maybe he's got more, as he definitely struggled a lot more through the high-speed chicane. As someone spun round, that looks to be Cody Reed in the Aston Martin, unfortunately. He was running in the midfield there. However, that has created quite a big gap between Matiziak and Richard Decant, which helps Richard out even more. However, Matiziak has got to defend from Elliott, who's on slightly fresher tyres, which I don't think is going to make enough of a difference. But they've also got Henry behind on the fresh softs, who's already up to 10.
He just went straight around the outside of Mizinski. Oh, please don't go for the move. Fortunately doesn't. By the way, Mizinski is on... Oh, that's not ideal. Mizinski is on 19 penalty points, which is 1 away from a race ban.
Oh, that's a dive, and Elliot's gone for the dive. Henry's trying to cut back on both of them here. He's managed to get the Red Bull in. He's going around the outside of Elliot, and that's a great move from the Alfa Romeo there. Covers it off into the next corner, and up into 8th, and he's really making the most of those fresh softs while they're fresh. However, in a few laps' time, they will be off a cliff. But he should be able to catch up to the DRS train in front, you would think.
You know, has boxed for a new wing and the tyres he started the race on.
There's not too much going on apart from Quyll, who's making the most of the mediums that he's still on, and moves up into 5th place there in the Alfa Romeo with a clean move down into turn whatever that is, as Richard Decant's going for a dive there as well. That's a great move from the Mercedes, and not wanting to wait to the DRS to try and get a move done, just getting that one out the way as Henry's also caught up, and they're going for a move on Rusnak as well. Elliott spun out the final corner as Henry's going to be ahead this time into turn 1, so luckily isn't going to be diving it. And he's now also got a good run and going for Richard Decant as well, so Henry's absolutely flying on these softs. And up in 6th place.
The softs are powerful, but not this powerful.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. He's literally, it's like he's on rails. It's literally like, he's already on the back of Quyll, and he's probably going to be past him in this moment. And he's almost pushing him on corner exit, and yet he's straight past and up into 5th. These softs are absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I think ridiculous is the best judgment. But in about 2 laps time, they'll be horrific.
But while they're working, they are working, and well, he's catching up to Fagali, who moments ago was the first driver to pick up a penalty this race. And he is going to get into the DRS of the Mercedes driver, so Henry's going to be on a charge here as there's an Aston Martin rain. That's Elliott again. And not a good day at the moment for Aston Martin. However, from what we've seen so far this season, that could change any moment now as McGinty also has a bit of spin there, and Henry has set the fastest lap, which, yeah, we're not surprised about that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try get another move here. He still has 30% battery. As Fagali's going to defend the inside, Henry's just going to say, see you later, I'll go in the outside then. He's got a bit deep into the corner there, actually, and that's going to allow the Mercedes to defend and whore. A bit slippy on the inside curve. Yeah, the inside curve did not look safe there at all for him, as the car...
softs are no longer as ridiculously overpowered as they used to be.
They're still very good, though. And I have a feeling he's going to get the move done on the Mercedes in this next DRS zone, as Marvin Murr also picks up 3 seconds, and we have a few drivers picking up penalties here, which could come into effect massively later on, as here goes Henry on the outside, and he's through into 4th place. And that is another move, and I believe that's 10 positions gained since the restart for the Alfa Romeo, so...
maybe 13 or something? I don't know. It's
well,
a lot.
He was 14th, and now he's 4th, so... yeah.
I guess that is. So.
That's 10. Actually, Jack just goes a bit deep into turn 1 there, but as I know myself, you don't get a penalty for doing that if you back off enough, because the track limits actually respect the fact that you slow down there, which is... well done, game. That's like the first time you ever do that. As Henry's actually broken the DRS to Fagali behind just about, and has closed massively up to the cars in front. And if he wants to, he has got a bit of battery to deploy, so he can try getting the DRS zone, as the gap is about 1.2 seconds. But I don't think he's going to get it this time round, but after the final sector he might be able to. It's Mathieu Jacques currently just following
Rich
Marvin.
is trying to go for a move on Quyll. but isn't able to make it work.
I think those mediums are starting to become definitely at least on par with the hards, if not potentially slower, but we can monitor that with the gap between Imtiaz and Marvin Murr, as it has come down a little bit actually. It was about 2.6, it is now 2.5, which isn't much of a change. As Mercedes of Fagadi in front, just trying to keep Keeler behind, and also his teammate for this race is Richards deploying the battery. He's going to go for a move into turn 1, and he's going to have it done before turn 1, thankfully. Manages to just about get it in the track limits, and that's Richard up to 6th, and he can continue as Masijak also gets past Marvin.
I think Cody has spun in the final corner.
Oh, Henry's nearly lost it there, and I think those softs are, well, they're past their best now, but he has managed to get into the DRS just about, but that's going to be a warning for him, and if it's not, then someone report that as Mashinsky, the third driver, to pick up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. As Henry, he isn't really gaining anymore, even though he's literally just been on the straight, so what am I talking about?
Paul Hill is right on the back of Matuziak, and it appears that Hill is running much lower wings.
And he's got the battery to use as well.
Yeah, Paul's definitely running much lower wings.
He doesn't go for the move there. Potentially could have, however that corner is slightly awkward with going side by side at the best of times, shall we say. As the Ferrari's almost pushing the Red Bull through here, so his fresher hards are slightly coming into play now, I'd say, as he's going to deploy the battery and get past us all. That's an Alpine spinning round in the background. As Paul Hill moves up into 9th.
The amount of wing he's running is absurd.
Yeah. If you had to guess, what do you reckon it'd be, considering the default's like 17, 15 is the default?
The default is 1828 at this track.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's preset 3 at Australia.
No, I mean like the default setups that most people use.
The time trial is 2217.
2217. Okay.
I suspect, based off the top speed, he's running like 3 or 4 clicks lower. So I think it's Matuziak who's got the high wings. I'll be able to check next lap for the top speed on the back straight or back curve.
That's Mashinsky. We haven't had a safety car in a while. Probably for the better, I can't lie. As we are just over half race distance here in this race, so if you're enjoying, then feel free to like the stream and also subscribe so you don't miss future races here in Ero. And if you're interested in racing with us, then the link to the Discord is down in the description. As we see Richard Decant going around the outside of his teammate, and he's got that move done nicely. And well, Richard with no penalties in a good spot this race, as everyone else in front still has to pit. He doesn't. And well, off he goes to the end of the race if he likes, as he does run a bit wide there. Probably has picked up a warning, but he's got 3 of those to get through before he gets a penalty as Cody speeds into the pit lane. And Mashinsky also follows him in, as we've got a 3-way battle, 4-way battle even, for 5th place at the moment. And well, this battle, I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be coming to an end shortly, as I think all the drivers are going to be pitting. Imtiaz definitely is going to be pitting because he's already in. Henry jumps in as well. And what about the cars behind? Not just yet. Matuziak maybe? No. So they're going to give it 1 or 2 more laps here, more than likely. Then we'll jump into the pit lane. As well, from what Keeler and Imtiaz have proved, the mediums can definitely go a fair distance into this race. As Apologies real quick, I'm seeing something weird with the stream on my end.
Mercedes are going side by side
I really hope that is on my
into
end.
turn 3.
Um,
And Joe Fagali is harassing the back of Richard Decant as they go onto the back curve.
yep, my frames are dropping really bad on my computer,
Uh,
but that should be better now.
both Mercedes have the
oh,
exact
look,
same amount of battery.
I figured out what's wrong. My OBS is being weird. Okay, there we go, I fixed it. Oh, that's a bit of a moment there for Fagali, and that's very harsh, that warning is. He was on the line, not over it, but okay. That's just my verdict on that is... Well, anyone going to be pitting this time round? Let's have a look. Marvin, no. Well, Richard's not going to pit, obviously. Fagali, no. Keeler's in. And so is Rusnak as well.
Should be going off about now.
So Rusnak's going to be in a good position here. He has to do an 8 lap on mediums, which is a lot nicer than having to do an 8 lap on hards. However, he does have to get past the Alfa Romeo of Keeler if Keeler is struggling with the 8 lap. And the warm-up process on the hard tyres, which should allow a fair overcut for Fagali. And especially considering he's still going to be in the DRS just a bait of his teammate here. So, and that is definitely going to benefit the Mercedes. As the gap is about 7 tenths, and he's using a bit of the battery just to secure that. As Rusnak here has come out the pit lane and actually has a car between himself and Keeler of Lucas McGinty, who has stopped this race and won't be stopping again. There's McGinty in front, we can see trying to get past the Alfa Romeo driver. And he's going to try it on the outside here. Obviously Keeler on those colder tyres at the moment, so he's not going to be able to fight back too easily against the Alpine, who moves up into 9th place in this race as Majinski on the soft sets the fastest lap of the race actually. And the leaders are pitting, so Mathieu Jacques, Marvin Mur are in, Fagali's in, Paul Hill's not, Matuziak is, and that's pretty much everyone apart from Paul who's pitted there. We should take a look back at this battle to see how everything's unfolding.
I think Paul has boxed already.
Yeah, Paul has actually, yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I did mash wrong on the tyres. But, well, Richard's got a 3-second buffer. And then has a fair gap back to Imtiaz and Mathieu Jacques, who are definitely going to be on a charge. And 10 seconds to catch, I think, is doable. I think it is. Hey, well, they're going to do it.
Richard will be dead at the end.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be... oh, what the hell? That's some desync, I think. If you look on my camera there.
Yeah, I can see.
That's not good. So I'm watching this between Keeler and Fagali here, because this might not end well. As Rusnak is looking to make a move on Keeler, using the battery in the slipstream. The Williams dashboard's annoying because it's on the steering wheel, so you can't see it very well. And he's going to try go around the outside, goes deeper into the chicane, and they've managed to keep it side by side through there, so fair enough to them, honestly. Most drivers would not be able to do that, I can inform you, as Rusnak is going to get the move now and move up into 9th place. I feel like a lot of overtakes are happening with people moving into 9th place this race, but, you know, that's sort of how things go. Is Mathieu Jacques is close to the back of Imtiaz and has mediums on his car, so definitely has an advantage in this. So let's see how he puts that advantage to use. Well, I can definitely see the gap at the front's coming down, and the gap between Imtiaz and Paul Hill's also come down.
I think the gaps are just generally getting smaller.
Yeah. If we take a look at the gap to the leader, Imtiaz is currently 8.7 seconds behind, which is easily catchable as Fagali's 8th session here. Is that going to be a safety car? It is.
Yes.
That's going to bail out Decant, I think. That's really going to help him as he's, well... Can he pit for softs? No, because he put some laps on them early, or 1 lap on them. Can he still do it though? You can definitely get mediums to the end, and since the mediums will still be fresh, I think that's his safest option here, I can't lie. Does he box? He does. Paul Hill also boxes. Smart from both of them there. As Majinski and Cody might be at risk of being lapped here. I think definitely Cody might. And yeah, Cody's been lapped, unfortunately. So
That is a shame.
Majinski just about made it. Apologies, I'm going to mute myself on stream. Quyll will still be able to hear me. So I can have a
Hello.
drink.
It's going to be interesting to see what compounds everyone chooses to go on
Yep.
to.
Elliot's on softs. Do you know? I'm guessing softs. Yep, softs.
Did
Here we
Dino
go.
do 4 runs in qualifying?
No, 3.
Okay. So
He
those
did
are
a
brand
double
new
on
songs.
one set for validating.
Oh.
So Imshaz is going to lead his 3rd safety car restart of the race. Interestingly, between Richard and Paul, Richard went softs, Paul went mediums, and well, Richard's going to have the feel of luxury, shall we say, that Henry had for those few laps where those softs blasted him from the back of the grid to 4th.
But
I'm interested to
Richard's
see if
softs are
Elliot and
1
Dino
lap
can do the
old,
same.
and the 1 lap old softs will be a massive deal at
Yeah.
this track. And I do mean massive.
I think Elliot, Dino and Majinski, I genuinely think they all have a chance when they catch up of very good points here, I can't lie.
I think they might be able to even win.
Potentially.
Because everyone else's tyres are also a bit old.
What I want to point out, Imshaz is at the front on hards. So that's really
Ooh.
going to, if he can hold everyone up and keep them behind fighting, all of these soft runners have a great chance here, honestly, and
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the difference. I mean, it's all down to how Matthew, Jacques, Henry, Marvin, how well they can navigate past the McLaren. And if they can't, which I mean is all fairly possible as well, Imshaz has had a very strong race so far. And used the benefit of being on mediums at the start to its fullest effect. And well, if you can just stay on the pace here, I have a feeling this is going to get very interesting. One thing to note is the age of Henry's tyres as well, and also Paul and McGinty on 6 and 7 laps between the 3 of them respectively. That's definitely going to have an effect. Henry's going to be on 15 lap old mediums at the end, so he's going to be at a disadvantage massively.
Box for a different set of softs to get that 1 extra lap of freshness.
Yeah. Honestly,
Although it appears to be a
enough.
scrub set.
That's going to keep the safety car out a little longer, actually. Interestingly enough.
I don't think so. Normally it comes in after 2 laps.
It's free. That normally comes in after, so it will stay at this one. As it would have already announced if it was being forced in by now, since we are now in Sector 3.
No, I've seen it get announced in turn 12 before.
Has it? Well, Majinski's still not caught, so... And... Well, if he catches about now, maybe it'll restart at the most awkward spot possible, but I don't think so.
I don't think it's
No,
coming
it's not.
in.
It's not going in. So, 1 more lap of safety car, and then it's going to be a 7-lap sprint. Which I can only imagine is going to be enthralling.
Yeah.
I'm really interested just to see how this is going to... I think you could honestly see the whole thing flip, potentially, in terms of the standings. Unfortunately for Cody, he needs to somehow unlap himself from everyone, and then have another safety car.
The issue is that on the restart, the rules require you to drop to the back of the field and pull over. However, it's only 5 seconds and 1 penalty point.
If you don't.
And if you can pull out
If
of the blue, is it worth doing it for 5 seconds and a penalty point? That is
you can
the
get through
interesting
without
question.
causing any issues, I think it's definitely worth it. You might as well. There's going to be some other penalties for other drivers this race. And then if there is
Yeah.
another safety car, then you've hit the money. And you're back in it. While you are 5 seconds staying guaranteed, what else have you got to lose? Just, you'll be back with everyone else, but I don't know. Might be a bit too late for another safety car, considering it's about to just come in now, and it'll be announced in 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Predicting the future with Luke Mills.
I did that last season a lot, but that wasn't really that difficult to do, considering the line's literally right there.
Yeah.
It's when I summoned rain at one of the races last season. I don't know where that was, but that was funny. There's Imshaz is probably leading a restart for the final time this race. Unless we get a safety car within about 12 seconds. Which is entirely possible. Well, let's see where he's going to go this time. He's gone in the final corner, he's gone in the penultimate corner. What about this time? He's going to leave it even longer.
I think
goes
that's a bad
really
idea.
awkwardly at the final corner, and that's going to invite everyone on the back, and Henry's also already looking for a move. We know what happened with Dino in turn 1. What's going to happen this time round? He's luckily not diving it, but he's literally pushing Masiuszak on the exit here, and is up into second place already in the Alfa Romeo. They're almost 4 wide there in the background, as Masiuszak goes for the dive, hits the back of the Alfa Romeo actually. Well, there's Cody's just trying to bullet his way through to unlap himself.
If he's ghosted, he should be able to pull away quite quickly on the soft.
Yeah. As Richard, let's see how Richard's doing. Richard almost smashes straight into the back of Marvin, and the grip on those softs is absolutely massive right now. As Imshaz has actually got a 1 second lead, and he's just gone. He's just getting away as far as he can early on, as Masiuszak's just absolutely terrified because Henry's just teleported into him essentially. Interestingly enough, interesting to note on the soft runners, they've managed to get past Matuziak. Richard, you've got to dive that when you're on the softs, mate. You gotta just go for it. The whole point of the softs is you got the grip through the corners.
Richard just doesn't.
Oh no, that's not good. Richard's gone very deep, and Paul Hill's got past, and now he's got even more work to do, unfortunately for him.
His tyres are going to be losing some advantage every lap.
Yeah, Cody's really trying to unlap himself, and he's putting in a really good effort at doing so as Henry breaks up 3 seconds. So not all bad for Richard actually, as only Imshaz and Masiuszak in front of him do not have a penalty. As McGinty is getting past Keeler, Sorensen's getting past Keeler, and that's very close. As they're into the wall, and McGinty's out the race. Is that a safety car?
Probably.
It is.
Yes.
Oh no! Here we go. Wait, can Cody? Did Cody get unlike? Oh no, Cody, no. Oh,
Cody needs to stay out and hope everyone boxes.
You literally only have 3 more cars. I feel so bad for Cody. He's so close. And literally, if there'd been 1 more lap before that collision, Cody would have done it. But he needs everyone to box here. And if it does happen, it's an absolute miracle for the Aston Martin. I think we'll all be happy for him, honestly. Biased commentary, but it would be nice to have another car involved. There's apologies. I was checking my audio.
So we're on to the 4th safety car.
Yep. Is Imshaz going to pit? That's a dodgy pit entry. Oh, Henry and Masiuszak have stayed out, so Cody. That's unfortunate for him. Keeler's in. Dino's going to be up into 8th, 7th, 6th, 7th.
Those tyres will not be good. So By staying out,
Everyone
Dino's been
behind
able
him's
to...
pitted.
Yeah, I think Dino's gained 1 or 2 positions by staying out. I'm not sure that's the best call. I'm going to be completely honest. Because I'm going to do a Lucas Dirksen and tell you that Dino put on scrub softs at the start of the stint under the previous safety car.
Mm.
So they'll be on a pretty decent amount of wear.
Yeah. Well, with 4 laps to go, let us know who you're going to think. Let us know who you think is going to win this race.
I think
English.
Dino's going to get eaten up.
I think Masiajak's in the best position at the moment, in my opinion. Imtiaz, I mean, with the amount of penalties around Imtiaz, I mean, it wasn't dreadful pitting for the softs, however, he does have progress to make. He needs to at least get back ahead of Masiajak. If everyone had a penalty, it was a no-brainer for Imtiaz to pit realistically, as, well, Dino and Richard are on older softs, and the rest would have had penalties at that point, so...
Yeah, I think I agree with your judgment that Imtiaz is in the best place. Because compared to the previous restart, everyone else has worse tyres. Like, 11-lap mediums aren't going to be fun right now.
I think it all depends how quick he gets to Masiajak. I think that's just the main question here. Can he get him? And he needs the safety car in this next lap, which it should be.
It should. So we'll have 3 laps of racing.
Yep. So, yeah, 3 laps. Does that mean DRS only on the final lap?
Yep.
Oh, well, this is going to be
And
interesting.
only down the really short straight.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be... And, like, you sort of get it up to the finish line, so if there's anyone... Who the hell is that? Or should I say, who the hell is that?
Oh, yes. Who the hell is that?
Terrible puns from me. I've brought them with me to this season as well. So, if you ever feel like it's worth not listening to me commentating, and you have a perfect reason to click off with that, but please don't,
There's
because we've got a
13
great
people
race about to
watching.
happen. 13 people have just got to hear the absolute terrible joke I've made. Anyways, will the one person who I don't have nicknamed because they don't have me added on Steam win the race? I mean, at least we have someone different restarting other than Imtiaz, as Henry's already got them going at snail's pace on the exit of there.
Or a snail's pace.
Yeah, if you've got a reason to not want to watch stream, it's because you've got 2 absolute idiots commentating. Please say you enjoy our amazing puns, and if you don't, then I don't care, we'll continue to make them. Anyways, look at Cody. Cody's just sitting there waiting. He's ready. But it does give Henry a bit of a gap, actually. He's leaving this. Oh my, look behind, what is this? They're all
What
like...
is...
What? What's this restart?
I'm
They're
pretty
like
sure
4
that was
wide.
an illegal...
This is going to be bad. Into turn 1 we go.
Oh.
Dino's got a penalty already.
And spun.
And spun. Yeah, Dino's gone. And that's the end of the race for the Williams. Richard's trying to go for a move here. As Richard dives down the inside up into 4th place in the Mercedes. Shoves Paul off the track in doing so.
Oh gosh, and now Paul shoved, who is that off?
Imtiaz or Rusnak, I don't know.
I think
That's an
Rusnak.
AlphaTauri. That's everyone's just piling through here, just jostling for position. Is at the front. I mean, theoretically, I'd say Cody's leading this race, and we should give him 25 points because what a race he's had. As Marvin,
Oh yeah, he is leading.
he's technically leading.
But in fact, he has 10 seconds and 2 penalty points. if someone decides to report.
There's Mathieu Jacques. It is using the battery. Is he going to be able to take the read of the race? I'm making more puns with Cody saying, oh, he's gone! He's spun round! And that now puts Richard in the driving seat, if anything, to win this race. But Imshaz is closing in quick. Imshaz is closing in quick. Richard's got 2 laps to not let Imshaz through, essentially. But Imshaz is right on the back of Paul Hill, and he's using that battery. He's going to try get him into turn 1. Please, no, just wait, be patient. There's no need, you have time.
Why are you using so much battery?
Oh, he's in the back of him. Richard's got a penalty. And that's not good. However, Imshaz is under pressure now from Vruznak. And here comes Elliott. Can Elliott win this race? Majinski's out the session at turn 1. There's been a collision there with Matuziak. That's 3 times this race we've had 2 people retire in a collision at turn 1.
It's too late for
Elliott, that was so close. So we're trying to go side by side into turn 5. That is ridiculous. Is Elliott going to dive it into 6? He's tried diving it into 6 as well. Elliott's tried anything. Masiujak's got a penalty now as well. As everything's kicking off. Imshaz might not even win the race at the moment, as the gap is around 3 seconds. If I take a look at the gap, it's 3.1. He's not going to win this race at the moment on the current gap, so he's going to have to get a move on here. But Elliott's now through up into 6. Can Elliott challenge Imshaz? But then they've got to be within 3 seconds to take the win here. And this is all going to go down to the final lap. We're going to have 1 set of DRS. This is yellow flags. That's Williams of someone. That's Rusnak, I think. As Paul's trying everything to defend from Imshaz there. He's not having any of it. He's going to try go again this time into turn 1. But he's got a better run, and he's going to be able to make the move stick just before turn 1. And Elliott's now got to get past Paul to be able to have a chance at this. But Paul's got a great exit at turn 1. Can he go for the move back on Imshaz? We know he's got a very low downforce setup. Is he going to try and dive it? No, he's not. That's going to invite Elliott close. But all the time they're losing loads of time to the drivers in front, so they might not even have the gap at this point.
It is close.
As will Henry manage to just about maintain this race win? I think he's got only 3 seconds, so he should be able to. As Imshaz is now on the charge. Let's take a look at the gap. It's 3.0 seconds. 2.9. And Imshaz is only going to gain more and more, so all he needs is just not to make a mistake here. And he should have this in the bag. As he heads into the fast chicane, and he's just keeping it in the track limits. The gap's down to 2.7 to the lead now. Has this gamble paid off for Imshaz? It looks like it just about might have, as that gap's 2.8. It's going to be so close here. But I think he's just about going to gain enough in this final sector to Henry to be able to take this race win. As Cody's spun, and gap's 2.6. He doesn't have the benefit of the DRS, but neither does Henry. The gap to the front's 2.2. Henry's going to win the race on track. However, after penalties, Imshaz does take the win here, and Elliott takes 4th. Wow.
Did we do some interviews?
I don't know if I have time. I've got
Okay.
stuffs to do, unfortunately. If you ping them now, we can try quickly.
Okay.
But that was ridiculous. Driver of the day from the game goes to Henry, who did finish 2nd overall.
Yeah.
Definitely a shape for driver of the day. Imshaz also for just a pure domination this race, just picking the right strategies. However, a close call at the end, we can say. But then you've also got Richard Decant, started 16th all the way to 3rd. And you've also got Elliott and Keeler as well, who also had great races. So any of the top 5 realistically have their own cause to be driver of the day there. As that was interesting. As penalties definitely had their own way of affecting that as well. I will grab the race director, as that's always useful, because there is a lot of places you can get double warnings at this track because it's terrible with track limits sometimes. They fix some of it, or they say they fix some of it. I don't know, I don't believe them. Well, that was interesting.
think I'll move Joe into the commentary room. Hello.
Hello.
We'll do. I think we can do a quick interview now. How was
Okay.
the race, Joe?
The race was good. I was managing my tire pretty well, but unfortunately, I had a massive spin, which put me out of the race.
That's a bit of a shame. Is there?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that any more?
I mean, I
See if
had the
anyone else.
pace today, but yeah.
Yeah, it is
Mm-hmm.
a bit of a shame when you have the pace to win.
No,
Did you
not
get?
not to win, but
Well,
pretty like a podium.
yeah.
Third, second.
Although
Yeah.
it was very tight for the win.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
determined on penalties and the brand new softs at the end.
Yeah. For sure, man. I mean, Martin was quick today too. I tried to help him in quali, but yeah, he
Yeah.
got the invalidation. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think we just caught that on the streaming quali. I think that was.
Yeah,
Marvin was getting a slipstream from someone, so I'm assuming that was you. So
yeah.
it was a Mercedes, so that would make sense. We also saw
Mm-hmm.
some good battling between you and your teammate for today's race. Any comments on how you felt with the overall driving in that race, the standards, and how it was from your end?
Yeah, driving was good. The drivers were pretty clean too. We had some massive fights, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, everyone was on a strategy. Some of them got on a hards and mediums. So yeah, it was a pretty good race, and I wish I did not win. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was a good, until obviously the spin, but a good first outing for you here in Australia, and well, will be interesting to see you back in future races. You definitely have a chance to fight for some podiums, potentially, even if we get like one of your stronger tracks. Potentially, you could nick a race win here or there if the cards fall correctly for you.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can do that, and yeah, we'll see in Bahrain if we can do something.
Right, quickly moving over to Dino. Dino, horrible look out there for you today, and just a day to forget really after 3 race wins in a row so far. One that you'll just be looking to leave behind, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but honestly, I was kind of expecting that this race wasn't going to be going as well as the previous races because I already had some races here in Australia. 2 to be exact. One ended in a puncture on the final lap. Second ended in a crash, and then we have Ero today, which resulted in 2 crashes and a spin in the final corner. So. Honestly, I'm not too mad about it. I still keep the lead in the championship, and I can just finally move away from this race.
Well, you're still going to be leading the standings by a fair amount at the moment. I
Feels a
think
bit
that
like
gap's
Leclerc after Australia in the championship.
hopefully this isn't the
unassailable
same
gap.
as real life. But
I
yeah,
hope-
I think the gap comes down to 27 points around, as I think you finished
Let's
ninth.
not do mental math live on the stream.
Well, Imshi has won, and Dino finished 9th, I think. I don't know. After, I think, you passed your teammate on the final lap, or the penultimate lap for P9.
I did pass him, but then I spun myself
Oh.
at the final corner.
Yeah, we were watching the battle at the front there, which was immense. Well, you had the strategy of going to the softs, then another late safety car. Completely flipped the strategy on its head again, and well, that restart. What are your thoughts on that? As that was absolutely chaotic. There was people going side by side all the way down to turn 1 there, and potentially some illegal restarts from some people. But you know, that's just how things go sometimes.
Honestly, I don't even know what happened in front. I just saw like people hitting each other a lot, and then I I hugged the curb a little bit too much on the inside, which caused my car to just lose control, and I spun, and then went to last position again. But it could have brought a lot of opportunities for 4 points because of the bad race that I've had.
Mhm.
But honestly, I'm not thinking about it too much. Like I said, it doesn't really do a lot. Brings us down to around 20 to 30 points between me and Imtiaz. So let's just look forward to Bahrain, which most likely is not gonna be a good one, but let's just try and be the best that we can be.
Right, well, that is all I have time for, unfortunately. Otherwise, if there's anyone else, I probably would do more interviews or further questioning for our drivers. However, I need to be somewhere. So, if you enjoyed this race,
Bye.
then make sure to like and subscribe, so you never miss any future races. There's more races on tomorrow with PCF1 and PSF1, and every week at Saturday at 7 PM UK time, you'll always be able to see PCF2, where I won't be here next week. But you'll still have Quyll. Quyll will be here, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.